Kurt, I guess the question that would come up for me is, have you been told by management that you'll be back next year? You know your situation for next year?
As of right now, I'm head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, and that's where I basically go about my business every day right now. And we just so to answer that, I just no, I've talked to Ronnie and Jim, and basically all about reviewing the season and the hockey club and what went right and wrong. But as of right now, I'm just, like I said, just going about being the head coach and doing it every day.
Coach, how would you evaluate your performance as a head coach?
There's things that I thought went really well this year. Evaluate myself. I'm always critical of things that I want to do, but you're always learning, getting better. There's areas that I can improve on, but overall, I think with myself and my staff, we sit down and try to get better and look at things that we can make this team a better hockey club. So I think we've done a lot of good things. We're excited about a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things with the youth, bridging the gap here with the guys, building, getting better every day, and that's my job as a coach. So we're disappointed that we didn't make the playoffs, but we got to keep going the arrow in the right direction and get, meet our goals.
And at what point did you start to see things fall apart?
Well, I don't know if there's a particular, thing. If you look at, I don't know if we can say fall apart. I mean, you look at, dissect the year. We got 9-10 new guys. That's almost half a hockey club that we started training camp with. So it was important to bond everybody. If we walk through the season, we got off to a great start as far as a lot of promising things. Injuries kicked in. The 5-game losing streak right early in the year where we lost our both goaltenders, and Jeff Skinner at the time was our top point guy, all within about 4 days. That kind of stopped our momentum that we had going. And so I think that 5-game losing streak really kind of got everybody on their heels, and then now you're chasing and pushing. But then when you go right up to the Olympic break, with all the injuries we had and new players and dissecting everything, we finished that last game here in a position that we could come back from the Olympics and challenge for a playoff spot. As you know, we didn't do that. So I don't know if it was like one particular thing, but it was that starting off in that Olympic break and not. I honestly felt we played well, but we didn't pick up points, and that was when the push really started. All the momentum of, hey, the Olympics are over. Now it's a push to the finals, final game to get to the playoffs. And coming back from California and not picking up more points, I think got with a young group of guys, I think the pressure started to kind of feel it in the room, and we were just battling to kind of keep at it and try to fight for that last playoff spot.
You talked a lot this year about playing your game and keeping your system the same. Do you think that your system was effective, or that it needs to be tweaked a little bit?
You know what? We're gonna sit down with my staff. We'll go over the year. I do believe in the system. We can always, we can tweak it. I don't think there's a lot to be changed. I like the aggressive style. In order to play that, it's important that you stay healthy and you use more bodies. But I look at it where the big thing with the system was you can still be aggressive, but it still, I truly believe that you got to have a good goals against. And we brought that number from 3.3 goals against last year down to 2.7 this year, or maybe 2.6. That's a pretty drastic improvement. And I'm going to continue as long as I'm coach here to keep harping on that. And I think with 2 healthy goalies, we can make that even better. And if you take all the if you take all the teams that are in the playoffs right now and you look at that stat in general, they all are in that range. And we're right there for a non-playoff team. We're right behind all the playoff teams with that average. So that area, you know, I think with the system shows that we can keep the puck out of our net. And surprisingly, our goals for went from 2.7 to 2.6. So it wasn't that much of a change last year. So for me, I'm optimistic that with some of our players, you know, it's not having the best year. If they can bounce back, and I believe they will, with being healthy in that, we have the capabilities to score more goals, giving up less, and that's a pretty good formula for, you know, at the end of the game.
Anything else you could point to that you thought went well despite not making the playoffs?
Well, I would say that's the number one thing, and I would say that really you know, having the exit meetings with the players. I feel our staff is really starting to really grow with these guys. You know, we got some young guys. We're getting to know them better and better. And it was our first full training camp. So I see the improvement of the youth, of the young players. I see some stability, you know, of like saying, hey, next year, you know, there's like the Nash's line is you know, we can start training camp with a set line. The way Justin Falk finished off, you know, in the last, you know, 8 games, where he's realizing the elite player he can be. Lindholm, how, you know, a kid coming in next year healthy and, you know, with experience and learning what this game's all about, how good he's going to be. Jeff Skinner, you know, passing his, you know, goals, you know, high. You know, the capabilities of him being able to score that again, you know, the question mark there. So I think the big thing is the growth of us all going through this stage together of trying to get better and in bonding and building together.
You mentioned relationship with the younger players and growing with them. How would you term your relationship with some of the older guys like the Eric Stahl or Cam Wards who've been here for a while? Is that relationship, coach and player?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with any of them. You know, I think it's natural that you know, we call them older players or experienced players, or when you don't make the playoffs and it's a few years in a row, there's going to be there's a lot of pride with pro athletes. There's frustration that kicks in, and it's not fun. And you know, and we got to keep pushing here to achieve our goals. And so naturally, you know, I hope there's some players that are unhappy and not complacent and want to get this thing turned around. So if we had 20, 22 happy guys today, you know, I think that's not a good sign. So you know, so for me, to answer your question, you know, we got to keep pushing everybody, keep making everyone accountable. We got to be accountable. We got to get better, and you know, in order to do that, we're going to do this together.
You said you look at how to improve yourself. Can you talk about anything specific that one or two areas that maybe you're looking to help this team, you know, get to that next level from your end?
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I think a big thing is you know, you got to get the best of all your players, you know, and you got to find a way. And I think we have no different than any other team. You know, there's different makeup of personalities, whether you're older, younger, you know, from North America, a European player. There's a lot of dynamics that kick in, and I think we got a lot out of some of our players, and there's some other players that we need to get more out of, and that's my job. And so, excuse me, I would say that's one thing, is that through communication and working with the guys, you get to know their intangibles and their personalities, and what, you know, one guy you might need to give a little kick to, another guy needs a pat in the back. And the more you get to know the guys, the more you can kind of find how you get the most out of those guys. So so that'd be a challenge for me to get the most of every player on the team.
The second power play got things going at the end, but for most of the season, that was a huge weak spot for you guys. When you look back at it, is there anything you would do differently earlier in the year or even training camp with the power play?
Yeah, you know what? I wish I'd assembled those guys together earlier. But if you look back at training camp, Eric was hurt, Toulouse was hurt, Simmons was hurt. We went into training camp and I talked about the idea of getting better the goals against and defensively, and we worked on it, and we did. We never had a chance to work on the power play because of the personnel that was missing. Getting to know some new guys, you got Sakira, who never played the power play in Buffalo. All of a sudden we gave him an opportunity, and he excelled in at times there. Gerbe had a chance to play the power play, which he never did in Buffalo, in Buffalo. So we were kind of really trying to match things together and see what ticked. And I stayed with that personnel for a long time, and thinking, we don't want to change, they'll get out of it. The production will kick in. And then really after the Olympic break, when we changed it around, Lakiana was a major contribution on the power play. He was a new guy that came in.